right, so this question uses basically a hybrid Renko bar. And so we'll use the unit Renko for this one. So let's see, we got settings of 5 and 31 and 72. All right, that's going to be some big bars. All right, it looks like we have a couple of examples to work with here. All right, and another question, Tyrone. Is the signal supposed to occur while the bar is building, or do you want to wait for the bar to close? Okay, yeah, so while the bar is building. Okay, so we have to make an adjustment to BloodHound here. So, all right. So since Tyrone wants this signal, while the bar is forming in real time before the bar closes, we need to take BloodHound here and change the calculate mode, and we're going to change it to on each tick. I'm sorry. Well, no, we don't need on each tick, so let's change it to on price change. There you go. So on price change saves a lot of CPU processing time there. All right, so now that we have the correct calculate mode, now we can get in here and start building here. All right, so let me make a new logic template for this. I'm not sure what to call this, but I'll just call it an 18-tick Renko Wick. Okay, so first thing to do, the simple thing to do, right, is to check the length of the Renko bar wick, right? That's pretty straightforward there. So that is going to be a comparison solver. Actually, this entire system is just going to be various comparison solvers, right? We're just comparing one bar price to another bar price. So let's add a comparison solver, and right, so this will just be the wick part of it. So input A and B are going to be bar prices. There we go. All right, so let's see here. This is going to be a long. So input B, I'm going to do input B first. So for a long signal, that's going to be the low, right? The low for the wick. And if it's a short signal, right, it's going to be the opposite candle bar price. So the high, right? But then for input A, right, the open of the bar, the open of the bar is going to be above the low by 18 ticks. So for input A, that will be the open of the bar, right? Both of them are open for input A. So now we need to go into the comparison settings, and right in the rules window, right, we have so for a long, the open is greater or above the low, and we want to take the low and subtract 18 ticks. And so for a short, we would take the open. Open should be less than the high, right? The high the wick, and then that's going to be plus 18 ticks. Let's hit apply, and let's see, did I get something backwards again? Oh, okay. Yep. I reversed everything here. Yeah, I don't want to take the low and then minus 18. I want to take the open and minus 18. So, all right, let's I'm just getting ahead of myself here, so let's reverse these. There. There we go. So I just reversed all the prices. And so now I want the low to actually be less than or equal to the open minus 18 ticks. Yeah, so the high would be greater than or equal to the open plus 18 ticks. And yeah, there we go. All right. Now, we can see that because the body of these bars are pretty long, that we're getting a short output at the same time here. And so let's see here. We can I must have hit cancel by accident. There we go. There we go. Okay, that's it. So we want to filter out, so on these down bars we want to filter out the long, and on the up bars we want to filter out the short. And now you might be thinking, oh, let's just use a bar direction solver. But remember, the bar direction may not be up while the bar is building, right? While that bar is forming, it may not be an up bar yet, right? It may actually be a down bar when your signal gets generated. So, all right. So we will use a bar direction solver, but we're going to be looking at one bar back. We're going to look at the previous closed bar, right? So we're going to use start bars ago. Start bars ago is going to be set to 1. Basically what that's saying is, look back one bar. Look back, start at the previous bar back. So, right? So basically the reversal bar, so as price is pulling up, right, or pulling back, it's going to be generating that wick. And then if price pulls back down, right, then it'll trigger the short because it's looking at the closed down bar. Right? So on a reversal bar, you're not going to get a long signal because while this bar is building, you don't have that wick down there. So all right, so we're going to combine those two together. Yeah, I'll come back to this. Oh, yeah, this short signal here. Well, yeah, that's another thing is we're working with historical data. So you don't always see, actually, typically you can't see the same results on historical data as you do in real time, right? Because the calculations are all different. So yeah, just try and wrap your head around that. But if you're, when you build enough systems and you're watching, a bar form, seeing what's happening, and then compare that to a closed bar, after a while it'll kind of congeal in your mind as to what the differences are and why you don't get the same results here. So, but I think we can build this so that historically you'll see the same results as if watching this live. So but no guarantee. All right, so we've done the wick part. Now we need to check for the, so we've done the pullback part. Now we need to check for the price moving back, back in the direction of the trend again. So let me read those instructions here, or directions. Okay, yeah, so now price needs to move back up to 18 ticks from the top of the bar. Yeah, well, I don't think, yeah, see, the problem is, if we look at this, the top of the bar hasn't formed yet. Yeah, okay, so so this will require some calculations. You're gonna have to calculate what the top of the bar should be. So, yeah, all right. So let's see, the bar, so that we're gonna have to go into the Renko bar settings. Let's see, what was it? 5, okay, all right. So we know from one close to the next close, there's a 5 tick offset. All right. So we're going to have to do a little math here. All right, so let's grab another comparison solver. And let's see. All right, so we want price needs to, okay, so the last price needs to be 18 ticks from where the bar should close. Okay. All right, so input, let's see, input A. Yeah, input A is going to be the last price. You know, we could use the close. You know, the close, pretty much NinjaTrader uses the last price and the close price synonymously. Yeah, but since this is a system that works in real time, you know, while the bar's forming, I like to use the last price to remind me of that point, right? Instead of using the close price. All right, so input B, input B needs to calculate what the close of that bar should be. So let's see. So again, we're going to take the bar close of the previous bar. Right, there you go. So the look back period is going to be set to 2. So that way we're using the close price of the closed bar. Right, so as this bar is forming, we're actually using the close price here of this bar. So there we go. We're using that closed bar price. All right, now we can go into the comparison settings. So let's see here. So for a long signal, we want the last price to be greater or equal to, remember, this is the close of the previous bar, and then we're going to subtract. So we want the last to be 18 ticks from the close. So we're going to take 18 ticks minus the 5 tick difference, right? The 5 tick offset from one close to the next close. So that's going to be 13 ticks, right? So we're taking the close of the previous bar and then subtracting 13 ticks, right? And that gets us to, so let's see here. Let's stretch this out a little bit more, right? So we're taking this close, and we know this bar should be closing another 5 ticks down, right? So basically we're 5. So if we're using this closing price, we're 5 ticks short of where the current bar is going to close. So then we just subtract, right, or minus 13 ticks, right? And that gets us somewhere up there. So All right, and then we just reverse the math for the short, right? We take the close, and then, yeah, so for this close, yeah, so we're in a short right now. So we take that close and then add 13 ticks. You know, that's what we'd get there. And so let's convert that over to ticks. There we go. And yeah, so actually, yeah, I don't know why I have this connected to the result node, because, well, actually, yeah, you know, if you're building something like this, you would want to connect this to the result node, and you would just have to watch a bar building until the market actually creates that situation to see if, you know, if everything's correct. So, all right, and so let's connect that into there, and let's see if this actually works. Now, all of these conditions, well, actually the bar direction is actually one bar back, you know, but yeah, you know, but we are looking at a closed bar, you know, but you know, all of these conditions, you know, are basically happening inside the same bar, you know, so this only requires one AND node to do this. And you know, the chances of the market actually generating a signal for us is probably pretty low. So let's disconnect. Yeah, I'll disconnect here. All right, let's use the simulated data feed. All right. Wow. That is just skyrocketing, man. So let me close this bar here. All right, the simulated data feed moves pretty slow. So we're in for a bit of a wait here. Yeah, because these are pretty large bars. All right, so there we have our 18 tick wick. So let's move price back up here. All right, we're getting there. There we go. All right, so there we have a signal. And if we pull the market back down, the signal will disappear. Yeah, there we go. All right, so test confirmed. And so here is the logic. Pretty straightforward. There, so let me see if there's any follow-up questions on this. All right, Tyrone said he was able to get it to work. Okay, good. Yep, I'm guessing, yep, Tyrone was building along with me, so good deal. All right, cool. Another question down.